Hello and welcome to Splatoon 2, the final fest, the Splatocalypse. Alright, here we go. Let's get it done. Y'all feeling fresh out there? We're off the hook and come at you live from the Middle-Topless Square. Order versus Chaos. Let's get it done. Alright. We're gonna play some Splatfest. Chill for a while. Oh. Bang, bang, bang. Bang. Bang, bang, bang. I do hate that you can't skip this, but we'll live for it. All right. Let's get in there and get some matches going. Yeah, this isn't the usual biz. This is what happens during a Splatfest. The whole town changes. You just soak up that jam. Yeah, feel it. Alright, let's get in there. Shoot that shit. Be gay, do crimes. Alright, let's do it. Get in there, level up my gear. It's gonna be good. Womp 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 womp. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, let's get in there. Get it done. Bridge to Tenta Switchia. Yeah, I also love these colors, this gold, silver, a little flecks. Graphically delightful. Alright, let's get in there. Alright, up through here, getting our mobility, our paths. That's right, it's on these fools. And that is the worst thing about Splatoon, is, yeah, you can get stuck on a shitty team. Yeah, because it's just all randoms, so you know how randoms be. Yeah, oh, come on, get got. And the thing that's actually pretty interesting about this game, just like in general, is that, like, you know, part of it is covering the map, like, you know, you're basically playing King of the Hill. But then it becomes really important to actually play it like a, you know, like a shooter. So that towards the end of the match, you're taking out those guys and they're wasting all that time respawning. And so then you get to take over more of the map. So yeah, you definitely have to, I don't know, you have to kind of think about it in like, okay, you know, once you lay this paint down, you move faster, and moving through the enemy's color moves you slower. And so yeah, there's a weird dichotomy to, like, you know, what you're trying to do here. It's not about kills, it's about actually getting square footage, but then, you know, at certain points in the game when you're getting the kills, it's going to make getting the square footage easier and more important. You know, so it's weird. There's a little OCD involved too. You want to, you know, kind of get as much of everything as you can. Well, that fool just running in. Oh, that's neat. And get got. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Yeah, I don't think we won this game. I think we lost. But you know how it is. You know how it is. But that's the thing, like, you'll lose the game, but, like, you know, half the time I'll have, like, the most kills, the highest score and stuff. Yeah, there we go. 5 kills, 2 splats. You know. And that's the thing, like, you know. It's a team game, and so you're only as good as your weakest link. But it's still fun, and you build up, you know, your gear and your levels and stuff. You know, grinded. We grinded. All right. Let's get some people in here. It is slow to load. Always hit or miss with these Splatfests. So. Hello, Evan. What are you thinking about? What are you ellipsizing? Ellipsizing. I was gonna play something Detective Squad based, but then I realized everybody was probably watching Drawn and Quartered or whatever, and I wanted to play something, so I decided to play this. Since Splatfest is on. You're busy being creative? Are you adding 20% more to your Raven video? Is that what you're doing? It can be 20% better? Oh, you played Red Johnson. Nice. Oh, you want me to play Red Johnson? Yeah, not when I have, like, I don't know, 1,000 games I could play instead of buying more at this point. But yeah, I'm probably only going to play this for a bit, and then I'll probably do something else. Oh, 15 to 25% increase. Yeah. I like that your improvement is quantifiable. I like that it's a number-based system. You're like, it's, you know, around 20% better. It's a weird way to think about things, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I looked at a... it didn't seem that bad. I didn't find the audio that bad. Like, I could hear everybody saying their things, and, you know. It wasn't what jumped out at me. I didn't go, oh man, this audio's trash. That's for sure. Oh. Pincer attack. I got one of them. But yeah. Like, is there a reason you hide all your videos? Like, why isn't that just on your YouTube channel? You know what I'm saying? It's just me. That's just my curiosity. Alright. Let's get up here. Where'd that other guy go? There he is. Uh-oh. Man, I hate that splat roller. It's like a shotgun. I guess is the best way to describe that thing. It is the game's shotgun. For what it's worth. Oh no. God daddy. You hide everything you do. Alright. I guess that's the way to go about it. My question then that it gets raised, heightened, is, I guess that's fine if you just want to share stuff with your friends. But, like, at the same time, nobody's really looking for your channel, per se, except for your friends, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Kravis. The Dark Lord, the Oathkeeper. Slayer of Men, King of the Sea, Kravis. I had a dream. And an idea about Kravis and Dino Sorcerer, and yeah, it was weird. So I might do something. I might at least bare minimum draw an image of Kravis fighting Dino Sorcerer. Let's just put it that way. Could be some hot Kravis battling Dino Sorcerer action. Oh yeah, I hear you. That's the thing. Like I said, like if you're just trying to share stuff with your friends, but at the same time, like nobody's like, do you know what I mean? Like other than the people who are following me and that see me on other streams or whatever, they're the only people who know. So if my stuff is public, it's only those people are going to find it anyway. Aside from the odd person that comes into my stream. You know, like there was a guy when I did that Godzilla stream, like a few weeks later, he put a message on that stream, was like, hey, my King Ghidorah is all powered up, let's fight. And I was like, what? You know? And so, or like the other day I was playing Left Alive, and a random dude came in and was just talking to me about that game. And so, like, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, it's weird, like, in a perfect world, I wouldn't care about it either. I guess is the way to put it. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it's like that weird kind of thing where, like, you know, you just, I guess the thing is you don't realize that you're doing stuff that other people enjoy as well. Like, do you know what I mean? And so, like even Dillard the other day was saying, like, he doesn't really watch TV that much. He just watches a lot of the people he knows do their things on YouTube, and that's like TV to him. That's his, like, you know, he gets to see, you know, somebody play a game that he hasn't played or whatever. It could be Left Alive, but it's Splatfest, the first day of the final Splatfest, and I want to get in there and get my stuff up for it, because you get jewels and stuff. Oh, we took each other out. And this game is fun, and yet not terribly taxing, and I don't really have to, you know, I can do two things at once. I can stream, and I can do something I want to do, and it's not that hard to actually talk and play. I mean, a little hard. I mean, I'm not doing that great, but, you know. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're definitely a big help to a lot of people, Evan. That's for sure. I do not disagree with that sentiment, statement, and idea. That is really cool. I'm just gonna bomb down there. Oh. Oh, man. Pepsi Man has brutalized me. But yeah, it's one of those things, like, you know, and if I just played this by myself, in the comfort of my own home, so to speak, you know, you guys wouldn't be able to talk to me while I did it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I love this. No! Oh, wasted that opportunity. It was an easy kill. We're totally getting wrecked here. Yeah, we're totally getting wrecked. Alright. Yeah. I'm not doing my part. But yeah, that's the thing, like, you know. Yeah, I could be playing Left Alive. I might switch. I might stop and switch. No pun intended. To Left Alive, because I do enjoy that game, and it is great. But yeah. Exactly. See, that's the thing. That is the thing. Oh, I just thought you were, like, dillarding it. And just caps locking everything. But yeah, that's the thing. That's kind of the interesting thing, like, about, like, the whole, you know, groups of people that are kind of, like, involved in all this nonsense. Is that, yeah, you get to share all this stuff, and you know, that has its appeal. That has its appeal. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you didn't share that video in the Raven Discord, I would have never seen it. Unless somebody, like, sent it to me in a DM or something, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. There's definitely that part of it. Alright, let's get this shit together here. Let's get it done. Alright. Yeah, but I was thinking I'm either going to play Daedalus, Left Alive, or Backbone later. We'll see. We'll see. Or I might not play anything. I might get so disgusted with the trash that's happening here that I'll never play video games again. You know how it is. Yeah, well, I was gonna play through it again, because I was really tired. I don't even know what the hell hit me, but, like, I just felt like about halfway through that Backbone thing, I was just dying. Like, I was like, and I usually stay up till like 4 in the morning. Yeah, it was split into 2 sections, which was weird. And it, like, it cut off before I ended. So I'm not sure. But I did look at my settings on, for DLive. Because I had copied from exactly what they showed. Oh, God. I had copied from exactly what they showed on their site. And, I did have the forced, the force settings, and so yeah, I'll definitely change that for next time in OBS, because this is my Elgato, and it's just plug and play, which is ideal. But yeah, like that's the thing. Like, is there somebody who's just not there? Well, that sucks. We're down a man, basically. We're playing this map and getting owned by these fools when we're actually down a man. That sucks. That's what I hate about playing a competitive game with people you don't know. Because this guy, this entire match, is just standing there. So we're basically down a man. And if you've ever played anything multiplayer, the difference between being up a man and down a man are huge. No. 1080-60 won't kill my PC at all. I've got like 16 gigs of RAM and RAM on my card and all that nonsense, you know. Yeah, my PC's fine. My 1080-60's fine. I'm uploading like at 4.5 megs a second right now, 720-60. Just because I figured that would be like, you know, if there was any bumps or any whatevers, it'd be the safest, you know. And a lot of stuff doesn't even run at 1080 in reality anyway. Oh, D-Live didn't support 1080-60. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Okay, gotcha. Because I know whenever those first streams that I did, with the Looney Tunes racing and stuff, I think I had my upload like at like 2.5 or something like that megabits instead of like 4 or 5, and so that's why it looks shitty. Like the last few times I've streamed, just locking it at the 720-60, it's looked great. So yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure. Like I'm gonna switch that setting in OBS so that it doesn't force, and see if that fixes it next time I stream on D-Live. But I don't know. My Elgato for streaming stuff from consoles is like flawless. Like once I got it set to where I wanted it, it's been super fine. Yeah, that's what it says on the site as well. When I was looking at the settings, they were like, "Oh, this is fine at this." So yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was stable and had a little headroom, but wasn't like, you know, doing anything funky. I was just giving it some headroom, and you know, it seems to be fine. Yeah, I'm just saying. Because like in the settings, like for the Elgato, I can just crank that up. I can literally just basically turn a knob, and it's like, here's how much we're dedicating to upload. So I have it at, actually I'm looking at right now, it's 4.75 megabits per second is what it's upstreaming at. So I don't know. It seems to look pretty good. You know, anytime I go back and look at the streams, I'm like, you know, I check it out briefly at the start, and you know, I don't know. You tell me. How does the stream look at 720-60 when you're watching it live with a 4.75 gigabit per second upstream. Megabit per second, sorry, megabit. 4.5 gigs a second, that'd be hilarious. Yeah. I don't know. Like, if I was doing, well, when I will be doing, I'm just doing other things, I guess, that I find more important currently. Not this, by the way, but, I have a bunch of footage that's all 1080 60. Yeah, and I assume a lot of the artifacting is just because it's the movement, you know. Just because it's like a little bit more than you want, like if I move the camera around. Oh, gotta look out for that. Oh, there we go. There we go. That guy was predictable enough. That's kind of what's funny about this game, as far as like throwing grenades. It's like as soon as you start shooting at people, they back off. So if you throw a grenade at them as you're shooting at them, they almost always back into it. Oh, I got hit by the rain shower. Yeah, and I don't think this game even puts a, like, a lot of Switch games aren't even 1080. So, I'd be very surprised if this game was actually outputting at 1080. It's probably 720-60. But yeah, for any of the stuff that I'm working on, as far as like little retrospectives and like review type things that I'm working on, they're all going to be, you know, 1080. I do editing in Adobe or Vegas. I have both those programs. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I just got to get... there always seems to be something that comes up that's either a little more pressing than working on editing videos, because editing videos takes forever. Hey, Eagle. Video editing takes forever. To edit like 10 minutes of video is just like a nightmare. Like if you're trying to do something slick with it and cool. Yeah, I use both. I use Vegas and I use Adobe. They both have their pros and cons, like all software. You know, there are certain things I like that you can just, you know, some stuff's just drag and drop. Other things are just like a little more tedious. But yeah, it just depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, I have to do some stuff editing with animation and stuff in those programs, and you know, or just doing titles and logos and stuff like that. Little bits of animation here and there. And so yeah, but I also have a bunch of game things I want to put up on my other channel. Because initially I had made this channel because I was going to do draw streams. Yeah, but that's the thing. 10-minute videos should take no more than 20 hours. Exactly. And like, I already have my opening and everything edited. I should send that to you at some point or post it somewhere where you can have a look at it. And so I have my opening for like my videos done. I have a bunch of like little interstitials and things like that. Like for example, like one of the first videos I want to do, or series of videos I want to do, is I don't really like Star Wars. You know, and I know a lot of people love Star Wars, blah blah blah. But I've just never, like, Star Wars has always been kind of overrated and dumb to me. Like, you know, blah blah. You know, I know a lot of people love Star Wars, but whatever. And so, but I do like a lot of the games. It's a weird thing where it's like, you know, hey, let's play KOTOR, or let's play Episode 1 Racer, or, you know, whatever. So there's a series of Star Wars games I like. and I really like the design and the color palettes and stuff like that in Star Wars Racer. And so I want to do, oh damn, I want to do like a kind of like a look at the games and like what makes them appealing outside of it being Star Wars. Like from a person who doesn't really give two shits about Star Wars, but who loves video games. You know what I mean? Like, and so that game does some really cool stuff, and you know I love arcade style racers and stuff like that. And so, you know, I find that stuff interesting, and I just kind of want to do, you know, series about games that I really like that either, you know, a lot of people have never heard about, or that I feel are kind of like underappreciated, underrated, you know, or the hidden gem kind of videos, because I see a lot of people like do like the, you know, the hidden gems on the thing that everyone knows is a quote-unquote hidden gem, you know, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess you could say that game that like a ton of people know about and played is a hidden gem. Sure, why not? You know, but yeah, like, and I make all my own music and stuff like that for the videos. Like the opening that I have for my stuff is all music that I made. You know, it's just beats. It's just like, you know, I'm using like synth stuff. Look at that bastard. Oh. I'm just... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm like straight grabbing it. Yeah. Or are you talking audio? What are you talking about? Oh god, that guy again. My half paying attention to text and half paying attention to getting shot at is doing me no wonders. Oh, no. Okay, he's gonna bop. No. There we go. He fell for my plan. He fell perfectly into my trap. Oh. I'm doing so poorly. I usually get like almost 1,000 points every match when I'm sitting there staring at it at my own leisure. Do I record everything I play, or do I have it's set to a clip, set period of time if you hit a macro? Like, do you mean for like the opening that I do? Like that's all that, like once I've edited the opening, it's like a separate piece, you know, with its audio and everything together. And then if I'm going to put that in something else, that piece I just drag and drop it in on the timeline. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, just for gameplay capture. Depends on what program. Like I'm capturing. If I'm capturing for just my own, it's going to depend on if I'm taking it off the PC. Like if it's a PC game, I'll use the NVIDIA capture for that. If I'm transferring from consoles, I'm going to just use the Elgato and just straight use that. You know, I'm going to capture it, you know, full MP4, you know, whatever resolution the game runs at. And then I have to, you know, convert that. If you get what I'm saying. But if I'm specifically like if I'm specifically recording, like with the Elgato, you just press record and you can set your settings and pick all your, like the way the Elgato does it is it like, you know, it says what system it is. It knows what is coming in. Like, so if you plug in, you know, a PlayStation 3 in the game 720, the capture shows what it's at and what frame rate it's at, and captures that accordingly. You know what I mean? So, but if I'm doing it with other, depending on what I'm doing. Yeah, well, I usually, I guess the best way to put it is if I'm gonna grab a bunch of stuff, if I, like, say for the Star Wars thing I did, I played the game a bunch of times before, and I played and just kind of captured the tracks I wanted. Like, I just do that race and be like, hey, I really like this track and the design of it, so I'm gonna grab that track, and then I would go in and take the pieces I was going to talk about. Like, if there was some really cool design, or if there was, like, a really cool, color set or palette, I would just grab that quickly, edit it, block it off, and grab those things out of it, and then get rid of the original file. So that I'm not crapping up a ton of stuff from the hard drive space, and it also reminds me of what I wanted to use. And one of the reasons why I cut and grab everything so small, if I'm going to make a video, is I one time grabbed the PC DVD version of Dragon's Lair, and all of its clips are like, and this is like the HD version of it, like, all of its clips are like 3 megs, 13 megs, like, and they're all like 15 seconds because of all the different, like, death animations and stuff. And I was like, oh, you can just kind of really get the message you're trying to convey super quick. And so if I'm just like, hey, I want to show you the menu, I'm going to grab that menu and say, hey, blah, 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 this is the menu, and this is what they do with it. Check it out. And, or, oh, okay, you can customize your vehicle. You don't need, like, 10 minutes of a menu. You need, like, max 15 seconds of that menu. And so I'll grab stuff that way. And if I need to, I can just like recycle the clip, no one's going to care that if I'm talking about the menu for 5 minutes, that I, recycle a 30-second clip, or just pause on, a 10-second clip, or loop it, or whatever. That kind of thing. There you go, die. But yeah, that's the thing, like, yeah. But yeah, because the opening I did too is really short. Like, it's like, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds. It's probably not even that long. And because I'm just like, yeah, I don't like when people have YouTube videos and I spend a minute every time I watch their video watching the same opening over and over again. Like, you know what I mean? That time adds up. Like, just show me a brief, like, hey, let's go, and, there's the video, and then boom, I'd rather somebody have a 10-second intro than a minute-and-a-half one. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. 5 seconds can be a struggle if it's obnoxious. I agree totally. And so yeah, because it's like, that's the funny thing, like, I watch, when I'm working, like, just sitting at a desk drawing, I watch a fair bit of YouTube videos or Netflix or whatever. And, or even whenever I'm watching DVDs, I love when DVDs, like for seasons and stuff like that, or Blu-rays, whatever, doesn't matter, have marathon mode, where it cuts out the opening and the end and just shows you the show straight through for like a season, and you can just watch it, I love that stuff, because I'll just put a show on, and if it has marathon mode, I just click marathon and just work for a couple hours, and it's just going on. You can just follow the show while you're drawing, or while you're working in Photoshop or editing or whatever, and that's great. Like, I love that. So yeah, I just like, I think you can do something cool and still give people the, oh yeah, I love that little opening, or I love that thing. Like, you can do something charming or interesting with your editing, and it doesn't have to be 5 minutes, or doesn't have to be whatever. I think a lot of people, are like so intent to like show you how great of an editor they are. You know, but they want to be like this big 5 minute elaborate thing, and it's like, how about you show me how good of an editor you are, you know, with brevity. Brevity is the source of wit, and I would much rather see somebody do something clever and cool and unique in, 15 or 20 seconds, that I go, oh, that's their cool little opening, cool, and then it goes right into their whatever their video's about. Because, like, it's funny, because I've been watching a bunch of, like, Zelda lore videos. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so it's like, a lot of the people just have, like, these very simple little, like, animated things, or, like, they have a scene, from Wind Waker or from whatever with their logo, and it comes up and it's like, boom, here's, it's me. And then they start their video. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just some neat things like that, or like, and I'm just like super appreciative of the, like, hey, let me know it's you, and then get on with it. Like, and so yeah, it's that kind of thing. I do think I might change the name of the channel. I think just putting bullet as the thing is too simplistic. And so I think it gets lost in the search, because it's like, because it's like, okay, I show you how to get more bullets. I show you how to get this. I show you how to get, whatever in a game. And you probably see the word bullet in things that have way more traction than mine. So unless you put, like, whatever bullet with this video Splatoon, or bullet with whatever, unless you're really specific about it, I think it's one of the reasons why it just kind of gets lost. Haha, they got that guy. That's fun. All this trash. But yeah, it's, I do think that gold and silver. God, that looks good. It's one of these little things, that, like, in the second game, they added, like, you can kind of see there's, like, a kind of a metallic-y fleck to the ink that you're spraying. And so it actually adds a little bit more texture to the game. It's kind of interesting that just that simple little thing is kind of giving it so much more depth and so much more texture. Yeah. Oh, he got me. Oh, Dad got me. Why would you kill me, Dad? You're not thrilled about the glitter? Well, it's only like this, it's only these colors, the gold and silver, because it's a Splatfest. A lot of times they're just regular, like it alternates between, green and pink and orange and purple and all that kind of stuff. So, but this is the final Splatfest. Which I think means that they are no longer going to be doing more Splatfests / updating this game. I could be wrong. But I could be wrong. I don't know, I like it. I like it. I like little details. I like when people do those little things. This might be loud. I don't know if it will be, but I'm going to open this bottle and pour more liquid into my cup. Do. Do. Oh, I'm almost up. Almost up. Even my crappy play is bringing me up. Multiplayer maps have been updated. I like it. No, it's not Pepsi. I don't drink pop. It is a sparkling water lemon. So it's just carbonated lemon water. You know. I would prefer to have my teeth be real, not rot out of my my head, and also not have, like, you know, type 2 diabetes and, you know, all that kind of fun stuff. I would like to enjoy the fizz without the sugar and the garbage. Because that's what I like about pop anyway, is the carbonation. I don't really like and also, if you stop drinking pop for a long time and then go back and have a glass of pop after, like, not drinking pop for a few months or like a year, it is the grossest thing you'll ever taste. It's so weird. Because, like, I used to drink a lot of pop. You know, I'd just be at work or wherever and just be like, oh, I'm just going to grab a Coke or a Pepsi or whatever. And never thought anything of it. And then, like, once I was like, hey, you know what, I should start taking better care of myself. And stopped. And then one day I was just out and forgot. And I was at a restaurant. And they were like, oh, what would you like to drink? And I was like, oh, a Coke. And then, you know, they brought me the Coke. And then I drank it. And I was like, ugh. It was just like, it's the grossest thing I'd ever drank. It just, like, tasted, like, thick and, like, way too sugary and all that kind of stuff. And so I was just like, oh, yeah. That thing I used to love drinking now tastes disgusting. So yeah. You know. But I still drink coffee. No, it wasn't extra thick or anything. Like, it was just regular, like, fountain pop or whatever, or can of pop. I can't even remember what it was. But I just remember just being, like, super grossed out about it. And so, yeah. You know, so I drink, like, carbonated stuff, or real water, or coffee. You know, you still need some sort of drug, and coffee is my drug of choice. You know, we in there. That took forever for some reason. What's funny about, like, this game, like, for, you know, for just pure curiosity, I fired up my Wii U and to see if there's anybody playing Splatoon, and I had no problem finding games on Wii U. Like, that was what I thought was there. So I was like, wow, there's still, like, a community just playing the hell out of that game, which is cool to me. I was thinking that I was going to play Breath of the Wild for a bit tonight. Just because I've been on a weird Zelda, like, lore kick. And so I keep thinking about it, and then I go, like, oh, there are certain Zelda games that I have never played. And then I go, maybe I should go buy some Zelda games I never played. This dude shooting at me. Did you see that baller move right there? Splatted them, grappled up, and then fucking killed that guy? God. And then the other guy killed me. But, you know. Nobody's perfect. I don't even know what he plays. And every time I see him, he's playing, like, the, what is that thing? the NES Classic, and so I'm just like, I have one of those. I could play that. Oh, I'm dead. I don't know. I usually play more what you would consider retro games than new games. Like, personally. Because, like, I don't know. There's just a ton of really good games. And... like, you know what I mean? Like, the time when I was playing, like, Looney Tunes and The Fifth Element. I bought those at a thrift store, like, that week. And so I was like, hey, I want to play these. Because I just go to thrift stores and, like, retro stores and stuff like that, and just buy old games all the time. You know, walked into that. So I got a pretty big collection of games, like going all the way back to like the original Nintendo. So yeah, you know, PS1, PS2, Sega Saturn. Actually, I was testing and setting everything up to play Saturn games the other day. Just making sure everything would look alright. And so I could be playing Sega Saturn stuff. Yeah, anything. I basically can play almost every system I own. Like I can capture video from it and or stream it. Because I bought a VGA and component and composite box that spits out HDMI, and you can set it for 720 or 1080-60, all that stuff. Yeah, Game Gear. I do have a Game Gear adapter for my my Genesis, and I have Sega Master System. I have a power base converter for my Genesis, so I could play those games. I also have a lot of those stuff on emulator as well. You know, so yeah, I could play pretty much anything. You know, ideally I would use emulation very little. I'm more of a, hey, if you should own it. If you love it, you should own it. And I'd rather play things on real hardware. Would be the ideal in every scenario. But yeah, there are some things where you know, getting a really good signal out of a Game Gear or you know, jumping through a bunch of hoops to get a Sega Genesis on a stream, you know. Yeah. Well, the thing is like you can now buy the SG, which is the same people who make like that Super Nintendo clone console where it uses FPGA emulation. Oh crap! And those consoles are really great. I'm thinking about picking one of those up because it would be pretty awesome to just pop some of my Genesis carts just like directly into a console that like perfectly spits out HDMI and has things like scan lines and you know 4x scaling and all that kind of stuff. So that'd be ideal. That would be ideal. But yeah, I got Sega CD and a bunch of Sega CD games. And, you know. Yeah, you name it, I probably have it. Or, at the very least, have games for it. There are some things that I've have older systems for that broke or whatever, and I haven't had a chance to either fix them or replace them. But But yeah, I have Sega Saturn. I hooked that up. I was playing some stuff on that. I was like, ooh, that looks good enough to stream. You know, play some classic Sega Saturn stuff. And yeah, I have a Japanese PS2, and so I have a bunch of Japanese PS2 games, PS1 games. Yeah, I get a bunch of Kamen Rider games, stuff like that, that only came out in Japan. You know, all kinds of weird stuff. All kinds of weird stuff. I'm gonna turn and kill these two. Right down here. I got one of them. One of the two. Yeah, but then I have things that, like, I might have to either buy or build a super gun for. I have, like, arcade boards, and I have, like, a Neo Geo 4-slot arcade cabinet in my living room. And I would like a way to be able to capture that footage from those arcade boards. So I either have to build a super gun, or I have to, you know, make an adapter and run from the harness on the hardware. And so it's probably just easier to build a super gun or buy a super gun and just plug the board into it, just bring it into the room where I capture everything. You know, set it on my desk or beside my desk or whatever. But I also play a lot of light gun games, like on PS1, PS2, stuff like that. And I was... which Donkey Kong guy? Are you talking the whatchamakinky? The barbecue sauce Donkey Kong guy with the tie? Can't remember what his name is right now. It's driving me crazy. But like you can capture right off the board. Oh yeah, the VHS. Yeah. Yeah, but like you can jump right off the harness because like the kick harness for the arcade cabinet, like you have the JAMA boards and stuff like that, and they basically have a pin connector, kind of like the way you see on like a Super Nintendo or Nintendo or Genesis cart, like the key board basically looking thing, you know, the brass things that the cartridge pin out that comes off there. That's what it looks like at the end of a JAMA board, like an arcade board. And then the harness plugs onto that, and it runs the power and the audio and your stick controls and your coins and all that stuff off that harness. And so you can just basically build something that spoofs all that in a small box and then have it hook up to a TV or whatever. And so I'm thinking of doing that. But it's one of those things, it's just like, you know, how much am I going to play and stream old arcade games? Like, you know, I could just use an emulator for that. You know, is the reality. Unless I just, like, sat a camera up beside the arcade cabinet while I sat there and played games and talked, you know. I also have a Jet Set Radio slot machine that I got from Japan. And it's like a Sega... I don't know if you are familiar with the Sega Dreamcast and or Jet Set Radio and the Xbox Jet Set Radio Future. But yeah, big fan of Sega stuff. And so I ended up getting a Jet Set Radio skill slot machine. And it's in my living room as well. And it is pretty awesome. Because it, like, you know, it's like, you know, you're doing like the kind of the 3 rolling things, you know, trying to get the lucky 7s and all that stuff. But it also like has mini games and all this stuff. Yeah, Seaman's awesome. There was a sequel to that never came out over here, and there was a Christmas one that came out in Japan for PS2. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I have Dreamcasts. Like, I'm looking at 2 Dreamcasts right now that I can see with my eyes visually. Yeah, Seaman came out for PS2, and then there was a Christmas Seaman thing, and yeah, that game did things. There was more of it after the Dreamcast one that we just never got here. You know. Oh, you thought you were gonna snipey McSnipe? Man, I just got ganked. Yeah, there are PS2 versions in Japan of a lot of Sega games that never came over here. There's Nights into Dreams. I've got the Japanese box set for that. That comes with like a cartoon storybook and everything. Yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, yeah, a lot of those companies doing some weird stuff, and a lot of stuff that they did in Japan just never came out over here, and a lot of it was in English. Is the other weird thing. A lot of games come out in Japan, full English translation, full English voice acting, and never get released here. And so, like, I have what is it? Cold Fear. I have a Japanese game called Cold Fear. I think that's what it's called. No, Deep Freeze. Deep Freeze. Cold Fear is a different game. Deep Freeze that came out, like, kind of towards the end of the PS1's lifespan. And it's like a third-person action game. Kind of like Metal Gear, kind of like... like action shooter, yeah, it's entirely in English, fully voiced. Just some of the menus are in Japanese, and you know, that's not a big deal. Most of it's just in like simple katakana, and you know, you can read it. It's just like sounding out vowels. It's pretty easy. And once you recognize like the menu stuff for like save and load and continue and stuff like that, it gets pretty straightforward after a while. You're just kind of like looking at stuff and you recognize it straight off the bat. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I got a ton of that stuff. Like, so I can basically play almost any machine. I get an N64 over there. I can see. Yeah, Wii U, PS1, PS2, PS3, you know, PS4, Switch, whatever. I could basically stream almost anything. Xbox 360, Xbox One, original Xbox. Yeah. I did pick up some fun stuff the other day. I picked up Tron Evolution. For Xbox 360. DS, yeah, I have quite a few DS games and 3DS games, Vita games. I have a Vita TV too, so I can technically stream Vita games. You know, unless I mod a DS, I'd have to use emulation to play anything on DS. Like, there's some great Jake Hunter games on DS. Yeah, there's a bunch of good visual novels and stuff on DS. And detective games and stuff like that. Yeah. It's great. Great system. Great system. I love the DS and the 3DS. And what's funny is I'm not really a big handheld guy. I've never been a fan of, like, you know, handheld consoles that much. I've always just been like, hey, I play on a big TV, and that's the way I roll. But as it kind of went on, and you were only getting those games, you know, if the only way you could play Jake Hunter was on a handheld, well, I guess I was playing it on a handheld. You know. So. Oh, that guy went against the rules. But yeah, it's kind of one of the things, like, kind of why my Pokemon knowledge is really kind of lacking. It's because I didn't like handhelds when I was a kid, and so I barely touched the original Game Boy. Like, I barely own any Game Boy games or Game Boy Advance games. I own some. There's definitely some favorites that I was like, oh, I need to get that. But overall, I'm more of a console guy. I like, you know, games on TVs that are big and run well and don't look like crap like an original Game Boy did. So yeah, I was very anti-handheld for quite a long time. Because I'm like, I could play a good-looking game in color on a TV, or I could play a shitty Game Boy. And so I didn't play the shitty Game Boy. You know, if I could play a TurboGrafx 16 or a Sega Genesis or Sega Master System or Nintendo, I was going to play that over an ugly black and white Game Boy. You know, so like, yeah, like, and while I know what Pokemon is and like, you know, became more familiar with it more recently, and by recently I mean like over the last like 10 or 15 years, but it's never one of those things I grew up with, I guess would be the best way to put it. I don't think I played an entire Pokemon game till Diamond on the DS. I think that was the first Pokemon game I fully played and completed. You know, but I definitely messed with them. You know, was definitely aware of them. And I will definitely pick up the new one. It's been long enough. There we go. Good. It's been long enough that I could play another Pokemon game. Oh, I didn't get him. Cthulhu versus Kratos. Oh, Kratos is going to win. He's going to snip his tentacles. It's just how it's going to be. I've decided that the Dark King Kratos, the Oathkeeper, was once a man. And that's why he's the Oathkeeper. Oh, is this going to be a good upgrade? Okay, these are all maxed out. I'm going to switch my gear out. Continue and change gear. Yeah, see, this is also the other thing, too. You're just upgrading and leveling gear. And you can min-max. You can do all kinds of like, oh, I can, you know, have the best running shoes or the best whatever. Alright, let's go. So what is going on tonight, everybody? What is the haps? What is the what? I was playing more of Starlink with Star Fox. That game is great. I am very impressed with that game. It is such a bizarre game because it's basically like a third-person action RPG with a ship. Even when you fight stuff, it feels like you're kind of like, you know, playing like an action platformer like Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden or something like that, where you're just running around and jumping and stuff, but it's just a big open world with a spaceship. It's very, very interesting. Like, I would say if you can pick it up, like I picked it up really cheap. I spent $30 on it, brand new, at like Walmart or something like that. They're blowing them out. And if you have a PS4 or Xbox One or a Switch, man, pick up Starlink. It's pretty good. Like, I think it's going to make me go buy the rest of those dumb toys. so I can switch out ships and gear and stuff like that. Who knows? Who knows? Not enough players. Return to lobby. All right. Are you laughing about the buying toys for this game? Because I agree, it is stupid. But oh Jesus, is he on? Is he on DNQFE? Or is he just in the chat trolling? Yeah, do you know what? Speaking of dumb Infinity figures, do you know what I want to get and I regret not getting at the time? Is the Lego Dimensions games. Because that Lego Dimensions game came out and had all these little packs for like Back to the Future and Scooby-Doo and Adventure Time and like all that stuff, and then they killed that game, and now those things are so hard to find. Like, I'm gonna probably just break down one day and just get them all on eBay or something like that, unless I can find a distributor somewhere, like an independent games distributor that has a backlog of them or whatever, because like I was like kind of holding off. I was like, oh, I should get those. Because they had Sonic ones, and like you'd have a whole world where you could run around in it. And they had Scooby-Doo, and like Adventure Time, and Simpsons, and you know, all these different ones. And I was just like, oh, I should pick those up. And then I was putting it off because I was like, I don't want... Where am I going to put all this crap? You know? And that was the thing. Like, I was just kind of like, you know... I don't need a ton of crap sitting around. I've got enough crap. And so yeah, I definitely. But now that they've like totally killed it, it's done two things. It's made it so that there's a finite amount of them, like where they're not going to keep making sets and all this kind of stuff. You know, you can basically go and buy a complete collection of it and be like, hey, I've got all of them, or I've got all the ones I want. Like, they're not going to keep making more of them, and I like that. Yeah, that Toys to Life thing died really hard. Like, even Starlink, they announced that they were no longer going to continue with another line of toys for it. They killed that too. It just didn't sell well enough. But it's a really good game. And I think that's the problem. Instead of games having, you know, DLC packs and all this kind of stuff, it's like now you gotta go to the store and buy more toys. And I think that only appeals to a really small number of people. I think that's the thing. You know, not everybody wants to collect toys or have a bunch of toys sitting around. You know, just how it is. Especially if you're like, you know, you don't have kids and you're, you know, a man in his late 20s, you know, early 30s, whatever. You know, and you're just like, hey, look at all my toys. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know, who cares? You got toys. But, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, what do you do with them? That's the reality of it. It's like, where do I put them? For me, getting certain things isn't really about, like, you know, if they're immature or whatever. It's kind of more about, like, where the hell do I put all this crap? Yeah, Skylanders is super dunzo as well. Like, yeah, they all crashed pretty hard. Like, Skylanders was good for the first, like, year and into the second, and then they started doing all this, like, giants and all this other nonsense, and then that started crashing hard. And I knew Skylanders was dead when I could walk into thrift stores and find them everywhere. You just walk into like any of the thrift stores like locally, and you're just seeing bags of them. And I was like, oh, that something is dead when you can, people are giving them away to like Goodwills and thrift chains and stuff like that, like and so like yeah, that's a 10 times battle. And so yeah, that's the thing, like you could probably get into Skylanders now crazy on the cheap, because like I think I was in a thrift store and they were selling them for like $1 each, so you could just basically get anybody you wanted and not have to buy anybody you didn't. You know what I mean? Because they were like 15 or 20 bucks when they were new. They were ridiculously expensive for one figure. So yeah, I definitely, if it was something I was going to get, like to play, just like, I think I would look it up and be like, who are the best characters? And what ones do I need? Because Skylanders was kind of dirty in that they blocked off areas based on elements. And so if you didn't have, like, fire guys in your set when you bought the game, there were actually certain parts of that game that you couldn't play or get to chests or treasure and stuff in. And so Skylanders was kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. You'd buy that game and be locked out of big sections of it until you got like the fire guy or the whatever guy, which is kind of sucky. Like I don't know. You shouldn't feel like, hey, I just spent $60 or $80 for a game, and now I've got to go and pay 20 more. To play what is clearly just a toggle, away. It's just a binary. Is this character fire? Is this character ice? So yeah, I don't know. That's why I stayed away from it. I remember I seen somebody doing like a playthrough of it, and they were like, "Oh, I don't have this character. I can't get this." And I was like, "Ugh, no thanks," because it's just like Skylanders is basically like just like a kind of top-down action RPG. Just kind of 3/4 perspective, run around, beat stuff up, fight a boss. Oh, so slow. Boom, get got. Get got, 42 blades. You should have got 43. Doo-doo. Oh, and I gotta finish coloring and doing some touches on that Raven redesign that I was working on the other day. Just for fun. I was just like, Raven's design's pretty meh. It's like a black leotard with boots and a cape. And I was like, why does she not have like a battle suit like everyone else has? And so I was designing one because I was bored the other day and was taking a break from working, taking a break from drawing by doing more drawing. But it's usually a good palette cleanser, doing a redesign of a character or doing something like that. Just kind of, it's a different headspace than working on your own other things or working on designs for something else. So yeah, it's fun. Whew. I also need to play the rest of the story mode for this game. I played about halfway through, or I'm not sure if it's halfway, but I played a good chunk of the way through the single-player mission story mode stuff for this game. And haven't had a chance to go back yet. My hope was that he was going to come back. Who's yawning? I'm not yawning. I've never yawned a day in my life. What are you talking about? Oh, I jumped right into that. Alright. Let's get this done. This fooling around biz. Right there, my statement of this is why when you're not fooling around, this is when you automatically do worse. The second you've decided, you're gonna throw it down. Bad things happen. The music's so weird in this game, but I love it. This game has the weirdest soundtrack. What, the video that you were working on? Man, sometimes putting effort into dumb jokes is the best. Like, commit to the bit, is what I say. Oh, Francis from behind. Oh, we're not doing too bad. We still got a minute. Most of this level is silver. In this light, the gold looks kind of brassy. Neat. Oh, that knocked me off. Terrible. Yeah, what's funny is Adrian was asking me if I wanted to be on Pope's show, because she sometimes has people draw on the show. But then I was doing the tank dating stuff, and I had to say no. I had to be like, this is what I do on Saturdays now. But then we stopped doing it shortly after. You know, so I could have went on there and trolled her about Raven. Although anytime I do watch Popefire stream, I always ask her why she's talking about Dick all the time. Because she spends a lot of time talking about Dick. Do 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 do. Well, he initially was taking that weekend off because it was was it 4th of July weekend or whatever it was. So I don't blame him. But like, I don't know, it's easier to organize a stream where you just turn it on and play tanks or play World of Warplanes or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because half the time, when like Dillard wants to stream, he wants to stream 5 minutes ago. And if you're not there when he wants to stream, and you go, okay, hey, an hour later, I just seen your message, and I'm good to stream, when do you want to do it? He's like, no, I'm not doing it now. You know? So a lot of times if you don't catch people, you know, that instant, you're just not streaming with them. Like, you know, they're like, oh, well, I'm doing something else now. You know, so, It's way easier for me to like turn this on and play Splatoon for an hour or two than it is to be like, hey John, do you want to stream? Hey Cat, do you want to stream? You know, whoever, you know, and so yeah, it's one of those things. Let's see if this works. No, I guess not. Alright. I guess that wouldn't go through the wall. Yeah, I have... what's funny is, like... yeah, I have other visual novels and Sims and stuff, too, that I can play. Like, I don't know, I probably have, like... just from Steam sales and stuff like that, I probably have like 150 games on my Steam account. And, Epic Game Store keeps just giving away free games every 2 weeks or every other week. So I just grab the games that they've been giving away on that. And GOG and Humble give games away and also have huge sales all the time. Like I've bought a bunch of Humble bundles. You know, get some pretty good packs of games through the Humble Bundle pretty cheap. Whoa. Oh, that shield. That's a good weapon. I've never used that one. But yeah, that's part of the problem. Like, as great as it is that, like, you know, everybody can be in a Google Hangout and, like, draw together and talk and all that stuff, it's still pretty hard to kind of organize everybody in different time zones and, you know, on the other side of the planet and all this kind of stuff. What are we at for my level? Okay, about halfway. All right. You know, because, like, it's impressive. Like, it legitimately is that, like, you know, I can go on, like, Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition and Chester's in Japan, you know, and, like, Dillard's halfway across, you know, the United States, like, you know, in California or wherever, like, you know, and people on the East Coast and Rick's in Toronto and, you know, whatever, you know. And so, like, well, not even in time zones. Like, I operate on different hours than, like, most people I know. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't go to sleep until 4 or 5 in the morning. Do you know what I mean? So, like, my existence is on a different time zone than most people I know. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, a lot of people, like, get up and go to work at 7 in the morning or whatever, and I get up around 10:30. Like, you know what I mean? Because I went to sleep at 5. You know, because I work more at night. It's just the way it is. I've always just gotten way more work done at night. And it's just the way it is. So it's just like, I just kind of go, hey, I can get all this work done while other people are sleeping, and no one's bothering me. So that's when I get work done. And so if I, you know, sleep a little bit into the morning, you know, and get my 4 to 6 hours sleep, you know, then I'm good. As long as I'm getting my work done, doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm down with that. I don't need the sun. I'll just get some vitamin D tablets and you know, some calcium, magnesium. You know, make sure that I'm getting everything that the sun would have given me, and you know, also keep my bones strong. Oh, got ganked by Joe. I should buy the soundtrack for this game. Uh-oh. Oh, that sucked. Oh, Joe's a squid bagger. Well, Joe's gonna get squid bagged. I see how it is. The music that's playing? Yeah. The weird, like, synth pop, strange voice stuff. Yep, that is this game's soundtrack. Yeah, the soundtrack for this game is crazy. Oh, right into that friggin' mine that guy laid. Yeah, this game's got a crazy soundtrack. I love it. Oh. Oh, I love it when people have low scores and no kills. Get off my team. Get off my team. Off my team. Ding, 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 brown. Oh yeah. And you can mess with the speed it up and stuff in the menus. It's kind of weird. Yeah, but these hot jams that this game kicks out are fun. Yeah, and this game's really weird because, like, you know, you want to paint as much turf as you can, because if you're swimming in your own ink, your mobility's faster. You know? And then, like, you know, there's skills based on, like, you know, your attacks and your movement and your special weapon and all that stuff. It's got perks. Oh, that was beautiful. I like what they did there. Yeah, and in the first game, there was Callie and Mari, aka Calamari, two pop singers that were supposedly the people who sang all these songs. Oh, God. F what audio? The audio in that the Raven video was fine. I didn't think it was bad. If that's what you're talking about. If you're saying F this audio, I don't know about you. This weird Splatoon music is pretty great. Oh, there we go. Exactly, Eagle. What Raven video? You wouldn't know that there was a Raven video. You wouldn't know that Evan was out there trying to get my Cultist of the Month award that I so richly deserve. You know. But it's cool, bro. It's cool. It's alright, brah. Out there. Putting in work. I see how it is. It's alright. I won't hold it against you. Oh, I got a guy with that long-range bomb. That was wicked. That was wicked awesome. Got Emily. That's all I have to say. Man, we destroyed them that time. Boom. Got kids. So what if King Krabbus, the Dark King, King of the Sea, the Oathkeeper, fought Dino Sorcerer and Hush Girl? But I made Hush Girl an elf. What if she was an elf? That's the real question. What if? What if all those things happened? What if I was, you know, thinking about creating some character designs based on such things? We'll see. I've already thought about, like, what's dumb is I've already thought that about King Krabbus once being like a man and having like kind of like this like kind of sea kind of crab armor, and he ends up kind of like becoming this giant sea crab beast, you know, just because he's like twisted over such a long time, you know. What about Davy Jones? What about Gravy Jones? Gravy Jones Locker. Haha, I get got. I had a, like, what's funny is I had a weird image. Okay, here's the image I have in my head. I have a weird image of, like, King Krabbus, like, smashing, like, you know, like, through a wall. And you know how crabs have, like, that kind of one bigger claw than the other? And so that would be, like, his, like, you know, basically like a shield. You know how, like, a king or a knight would have a shield? And so, like, he has this, like, design where, you know, his other crab claw, the big one, is like his shield. And then he has the other claw that's like, you know, the regular size one that you're like, oh, you know, it's regular crab. And, you know, he's all armored and stuff, and he's like smashing through this wall. But Dinosaurcerer is like putting up like this big force field, like as his big shield claws crushing down on him. And then, now that Hush Girl is an elf, she'll have the similar design, like, you know, with the wrapping and stuff around her face, but be like an elf girl. And I had this weird vision slash like dream of this image, and her kind of coming up out of like a sewer hole that the wizard is kind of has his shield cast over, and they're gonna escape through that. That's right. I just had this like vivid like story scene thing, because I was just thinking about those characters and character design, and I was like, I'm gonna make some kind of image like that. But see, the problem with my existence is I go, hey, that's going to be a great thing to do. But first I have to design each of the characters and do stuff with them, just so I visually understand them. Like, I want to do like turnarounds and stuff like you would do like for like a cartoon. Now, Krabbus isn't a pirate. Disgraced king. Disgraced king. And so, like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I want to design everything and be stoked about that design before I just draw some image. Like, you know what I mean? Because it'd just be easy to go and look at some crabs and be like, all right, well, I'm going to draw this crab and just make it look like a big, giant crab that just looks like a crab. No, he said as long as Krabbus isn't a pirate. Krabbus isn't going to be a pirate. He's going to be the Oathkeeper. He's going to be a former king, a disgraced king. That's the plan. It's the plan of this thing that I may never do anything with, but I just like the idea, and I'll probably do some kind of poster-like, splash page-like image after I sit down and design the characters. But my weekend's kind of ruined already, because I gotta go and watch somebody's dog on Saturday, which is gonna spoil most of my day. Get out of here. I don't think anybody's a pirate. No one likes pirates. Pirates are basically zombies. Nobody likes that. No one's pirating anything, Evan. God damn it. Yeah, like, he'd be like, you know, that kind of, like, knight that, like, you know, unified a kingdom, and everybody thought he was great, and then, you know, he had to keep his oath, and over the thousands of years, the curse made him King Krabbus. You know, the beast. See, I've already put way too much thought into this character. Yeah, what's funny though is like, I prefer not to, I don't know, if I'm making kind of fantasy, like if I have a fantasy, you know, swords and sorcery type of idea, I kind of like to stay away from mythology that's already known. Like I would, it's more interesting to me to like make up the mythology. You know, to be like, okay, well, this is their mythology. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, these are their gods. These are the, you know, this is what's interesting about this time period. Yeah, oh, well, I'm not committing to the joke. It's just that, like, it won't be something I do, you know, tonight and show people tomorrow. Let's put it that way. You know, because it's just the way I am. I'm very fussy about things, and so I like to, you know, like I'll sit down and probably go over a couple designs of like Dino Sorcerer before I commit to one, you know, or like, you know, with King Krabbus, like I'll sketch out a bunch of like designs and then I'll pick one and that's the one I'll go with. And that, you just don't do that in like a few minutes. Like, you know, and so yeah, like, you know, I don't know, like it's just that kind of thing. And it's not like, it's not about hiding it. It's just that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I could crap out, if I wanted to do a joke image, I could crap it out and throw it up on Twitter or whatever, you know, sketch something out and be like, here you go. But, like, it's one of those things, like, kind of like if you've seen the Hank Venture as She-Ra. You know, in that new She-Ra outfit and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's committing to the joke. You know what I mean? Like, that's like getting in there and, like, putting way more time than I probably ever needed to into anything I've ever bothered to post on Twitter. And that also I also won money by just doing that. There was I entered that into a joke contest thing, and it won. And I got like $50 for doing it, just for something to do. Like, I'd already drawn, like, I already drew it for the joke. And then somebody was doing an OK She-Ra contest. And I won $50 just because people voted on it. Like, Slick Jimmy and all those other people were on that stream. Is it like the Amazing Josh, maybe is his name? But anyway, you know what I mean? Like, Hank Venture dressed as She-Ra, to me, is like the ultimate commit to the bit. Like, it's like, to me, that was like the perfect, he would dress that way. The Venture Brothers would make fun of that show. And it kind of combined everything I loved and hated about that new She-Ra design. It was like, yeah, that looks like a girl. Like, you know, that turns into a man. And, you know, Hank looked like her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. That's like 100% committing to that joke. Also, I was really proud of that, not because I won any money from it, or because it got a lot of likes. The kind of funny thing to me that made me the happiest about doing that She-Ra Hank Venture thing was that Flit Amaret was like, I have that in a meme folder. And I thought that was the funniest thing. Because I was like, oh, that was cool enough that someone put it in a meme folder. Like someone was like, yoink, meme folder. You know, I was like, that's cool, because people remember memes and people like, you know, like that kind of stuff. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I didn't even care. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that was cooler. That someone like thought it was like meme worthy. That it was like, you know, hey, I'm putting this in my meme folder. You know, because like I remember like being on something before, like I think it was like on one of Dillard's streams, and I was like talking to him and showing him some of my other work that I posted on Twitter, and it was like, oh, that's you, like, you know, I put that in my meme folder, and I was like, ah, that's pretty cool. I dig that. I dig the meme folder. Yeah, just weird stuff like that. Like, to me, like, people really digging something and appreciating it is more important, that it was personal to them, like that they got it on that level where they're like meme folder, click, like, you know. So yeah, like, I don't know. That's kind of the fun thing about sharing stuff. Like, you know, like on Twitter or wherever, or, you know, when people really go, oh, like, I get that, you know, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more. You know, because there's, you know what I mean, like anything, there's a pride in that. There's like, you know, it's like, hey, I did this really cool piece, and you know, and everyone got the joke, you know. You know, the time was somewhat worth it. You know what I mean? But yeah, because it's like, I mean, we've had this conversation before, like, you know, about like, you know, your time being worth something, and you know, is committing to the bit always worth it? Probably not. But you know, sometimes it is. So I can't begrudge anybody who goes for it, who commits to the bit, and you know, goes all out. I'm a sneaky ghost. I'll play that for free. Boom. Man, this is chaos. Oh, we're on final edit. We're getting the director's cut, or are we getting the theatrical release? When are you going to post it? Wow, that was pretty coordinated. Nice. Are you just going to post it to the chat, like the Discord, or what are you going to do? Oh, C. The dreaded C. Yeah, well, I mean, you should. So that, you know, the most Starfire people can be shown. You gotta get the word out. You gotta show them. Oh, I'm gonna squid bag that guy. Just right at the end. Yeah. Have I gone up a level yet? Am I almost there? Oh, we're close. Do. Well, I don't see why not. Why wouldn't you just use your Evan Von Scriver channel? I don't know, it's entirely up to you what you want to do with it or how you want to share it, you know. I'm not going to tell you how to share your content. That's for sure. It's up to you. But I'd like to see it, even if you're just going to put it in the Discord. I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I'd put it on your main one then, maybe. Dun, 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 dun. Communication error occurred. Here, I'm gonna back out and go into the shop and see if there's any good gear. And listen to this hot jam. Oh, one time, two times. Yeah, they're loving it. Lots of people with their art. Little Mega Man, little Metroid. Gay chaos. Sure. Why not? They're on the first day. 72 hours remaining. Alright, let's buy some gear. You want to keep it away from the secret videos and maybe offload the channel in the future. I hear you. Well, I mean, even if you upload it, you can... You already have your base one, and you can download it, can you not? Just to keep. So, I mean... You've got options. Any good shoes? Any good shoes? I've got most of the good shoes. Oh, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to transfer the ownership of the channel? Does that happen a lot? I don't know. I don't know if I would be down for such a thing. Is someone going to want to, like, because you have this channel name that somebody wants or that someone's going to use? Like for, you know, like if I was going to start like an all Raven channel to combat, you know, the Starfire, you know, memes, and you had a suitably named, you know, Cult of Raven channel that you would transfer the ownership to me? Is that what you're saying? As I declare myself the magistrate of the House of Raven. The prince, the prophet. I was gonna play until I got this next level. It's taken forever. Let's be honest here. I thought I was gonna be there by now. But it's not that far away. Yeah, make a Cult of Raven channel. What Hail Raven premiere? Oh, your video premiere. What am I talking about? I was like, am I high? What Hail Raven? Like, alright. Let's give these squids what for. Oh shit. People hate that, the squid bagging. If I come up to this dude and go, it's like the biggest insult in this game. It's like, people are like, oh, you're such an ass. Let's just say, I learned a long time ago when you play multiplayer games and you do stuff like, you know, like teabagging in Halo or squid bagging in Splatoon, that it throws people off, they get mad, and so they look for you. And it throws them off their game of what they would normally do. And so I like doing that kind of stuff. I'm not doing it to be a jerk, per se. While it is funny, you definitely find that, like, those people start playing worse because you've gotten in their head and you've quote unquote insulted them or disrespected them, and you know. Yeah. Yeah, that's so Raven, but it's in Nazi Germany. It's really different, but I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna like it. In Germany, it's called Sig Heil Raven, and yeah, it's really different. It's really different, but I think you're gonna like it. In this season of Sig Heil Raven, we find Raven strangely attracted to a young boy. And she's not sure why in the year 2019, the year of our Lord 2019, when there are 37 flavors of gender. She wonders why she is not a gust of wind. And on that gust of wind, love. The link to what video? What are you talking about? Seriously, what is happening? Am I high right now? Like the link to this YouTube video? Is that what you're telling me? What's happening here? On the Twitters? Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be this guy that does this. Okay. Yo, Splatoon Smash Ultimate News, what's up? We are Splatfesting it up at the Splatocalypse. How you doing? How you living? Oh. What is all the Splatoon and Splash news today? I'm still impressed that I can fire up Splatoon 1, and there's still a lot of people playing it. That game still has, like, I've never not had a problem just jumping into that game, and there still being a base playing that game. It's impressive. I know who you are. You're Ted Danson. Why he keeps trolling me. I told him I love Cheers. Look out, look out, look out. Nice. Oh, why? Do do. Do 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 do. Oh. These fools jumping right into my ink. Oh, He ran right up behind me. Ted mother effing Danson. MC Princess Killer Whale. Dum dum dum. Oh, are they really? That's cool. Order and Chaos keychains. See, that's the thing that's kind of like bums me out about that stuff. It's like, if you can't get to one like little convention, then you end up having to pay a ridiculous amount for a keychain just because you like want a little tchotchke that you'd put on your keys and be like, hey, I like Splatoon. Yeah, it kind of bums me out that like a lot of that stuff is they don't even think about the people who bought and played the game. Like, they give them no option to get it. Like, how many people are gonna go, you know, halfway across the world to get a keychain when it's, you know, and a bunch of people will get one who don't even care about the game. It's annoying, not gonna lie. And I've been to a couple E3s, and they hand out crap like you wouldn't believe, you know, whether you want it or not. They're handing junk to you. So I know a lot of people who would just get that stuff and just hawk it on eBay or whatever. Okay, cool. I will absolutely be looking for you. Nice. Yeah, I'm just grinding it out during the Splatfest. It's just a good time. Grinding some gear, grinding some levels, some Splatfest, you know. Oh. Good for that pinball. Is that enough? Yeah. There we go. Killing fools. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I like this game a lot because of just the pure, you know, it's fun and casual, like, but you still kind of have to be good at it. Oh man, those things when they lock on. Yeah, it's popped up several times tonight. And maybe it's in a higher rotation, because I've definitely seen the 10 times, multiple times tonight. So maybe they just upped the rate. There we go. Oh. There we go. Oh. Yeah, well, part of the team, the Splatoon team, is the Animal Crossing team. So you probably won't even hear about a Splatoon 3 until after March. Like, I imagine you might hear something about like an E3 or something. Oh, thanks. Thanks. I appreciate the DM. But yeah, I can't see them even thinking about Splatoon 3 until next year. Like, because Animal Crossing doesn't come out till March, and so you might get a trailer or some kind of update about it E3 next year, or maybe even like, you know, in a direct, you know, in the summer or something like that of next year. But I'd be looking forward to it. I've loved both games. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. 2022 wouldn't surprise me. You know, depends on what they do with it development-wise. But, like, I'm not in a hurry for it either. Like, I played Splatoon 1 for a long time. Just casually, just jump in, you know, every other weekend or whatever, I'd play it. And I'd play at the Splatfests and all that kind of stuff. It's just fun. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I could definitely see myself playing this, you know, on and off for the next couple of years. Like, it's just one of those games where I just like to jump in, play for a few hours, a couple days later, or a week later, or 2 weeks later, I'll pop in, play, you know, for 2 or 3 hours, and yeah, it's just fun. It's just a solid, fun game. Yeah, it's good times. But yeah, I'll probably play on and off all weekend just because of the Splatfest. A little bit more than usual, but you know how it is. The thing is though, like, I would kind of be surprised. Like, if it took them to 2022 for full development. Just because the engine's already done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they've got a pretty solid framework for the game. You know, I don't think they necessarily have to write a new engine every time. And they'll probably carry over a lot of the maps and add new ones. Because, like, even with this game, like, the little things they added as far as, like, the, you know, the kind of flecks of sparkle and stuff like that, like, in the paint and stuff like that, or the ink, I guess you'd say, add a really nice sense of depth compared to the first game. So as long as they kind of keep upgrading like that, you know, building on the story mode and keeping the multiplayer fun, then I will definitely be excited. He thought he was safe. He was not. There we go. Jeez. Do. I always feel these matches kind of suck. Where the other team just kind of sits it out. And you're just like over here, right at their doorstep, bashing them. Look at that. Like, what a blowout that was. How unfortunate. How embarrassing. 81% of the map. Come on. We weren't even trying. We weren't even trying. Come on, people. Look at that. Sad. Yeah, hashtag rig indeed. It's like Neo was playing on my team. He didn't do so good when he had to do it from work or wherever he was. He said before the game that he wasn't at home, which I thought was hilarious. Ding, 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 ding. Cult of Raven, giant and shaman. Okay, I want to get up this next level. Come on, people, let's do this. But I can't. Oh, come on in here, order champion. I'd like to order a champion. Yeah, I don't know what his deal with his mic or whatever is. It sounds like he's like both inside a closet and a wind tunnel at the same time while whispering to someone in church. Like it's really low. It's really like for a guy who like streams all the time, he should realize how low his mic is. Like he should be aware of that. Because even when he streams on like D Live and YouTube and stuff like that, his mic is really low. Like I get like the occasional audio guts, but every time he's been on the channel, it just sounds like he's whispering. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to make a note of that, a mental note. And when we do Scriblio tomorrow, or Scrib Battle, whatever you want to call it, I'll be like, hey, turn up your mic or whatever, or get John to turn him up, so that we can hear him. And that stuff's important too. Like, you guys letting us know what's not working and what sucks about it will allow us to kind of fix some things behind the scenes. Like, you know, if you can't hear him talking, it's a problem. But yeah, it's one of those things like, because when we start the thing and we're talking, you can kind of hear everybody at a good volume, but then like, I'm not sure if it's like something that we've got to adjust after the fact, or you know, go in ahead of time and go, hey, just turn him up. But yeah, we'll get it. We'll figure it all out. I do like that we actually have set times for it now. I like that we have, you know, where I can kind of go, okay, I can kind of plan out my day and be like, okay, that's going to be there, that's going to be here. Having somewhat of a stream schedule for certain things. Oh, got me. get the OCD part here. Oh, that was a bad move. That was a bad move. Oh, I got him with that. Nice. I fucking love that. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna spawn in here. Yeah, guess what? Get wrecked. Oh, I splatted your boy Zach. Oh, I hate those paintbrushes. It's like them and the rollers are like they're like the shotguns of the game. There you go. Get got. There we go, there we go. Killing fools. Ba-doo-da-doo-doo. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, this match should bring me to the next level. What we've been working towards all along, everyone. What kind of time do we got happening here? Alright. Yeah, I'm going to watch that video, but I'm going to wait till I'm done here, stramming. And then I'll... I don't know, I haven't watched it yet. I have to... once I'm done, once I get to my 999, then I'll go watch it. I'm just not gonna watch it while I'm streaming, but I will watch it, because I do want to see it. Because I like the first cut, so I definitely want to see it. Who's this fool spraying over here? Oh, look at this guy. Thinks he's a clown. They took themselves out. That was beautiful. Oh, the second cut's probably not garbage. I mean, if it is, I'll let you know. Because I don't care. Like, I'll just be like, it sucks. But, But I didn't have any problem with the other one, so... You know. You're going back to the first cut? What are you doing? You promised at least 20% better. I mean... Let's get real. If my audio... If the whole thing isn't at least 20% better, you're fired from whatever it is you do here. That's all I'm saying. Listen. You don't know that I didn't see all the fleshlights on the floor. You just don't know that maybe I didn't want to point them out so that people think I see, use, and know what a fleshlight is. I like to keep my fleshlight expertise on the down low. You know. You know. Like, maybe. I'll go there. Strafe. Oh, there you go. Go after him. Oh, Rin. Rin, what do you know of the fleshlight? Tell me about its soft, supple contours and unique packaging. Uh-oh. Run away from the tornado. Womp, womp, womp. Yeah, see, it's another 10 times battle. Okay, did we get enough to rank up? Oh, okay, one more match. We'll be king of the world in one more match. Oh. Yeah. Girl. Should get one of those. Is there a clip from any of the Teen Titans things where any of them actually have a slate, like a movie slate, and close it, open and close it, like, hey, take one as a gag? And then you put the slate there. That'd be funny. But see that I've just made a ton of work for you by even suggesting that. And I regret saying it. I regret saying it as it came out of my mouth. I regretted saying it. I was like, oh, and then I said it, and then I was like, oh, that's work. Because let me tell you, I hate when people say things to me and go, oh yeah, that's a lot of work. By roto, do you mean rotoscope? Or do you mean roto? Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got green. Sweet. The color change up is blinding after seeing the gray and the silver the whole time. I mean, the silver and the gold the whole time. Yes. That's contrast is delightful. Also, this game's great. Let's never forget. Oh. Chief Chan. I have Eclipse, but I won't. That's funny. Mr. Krabs is up here. Oh, he got me before I could go and summon the Spirit Bomb. Why did that guy run right into that? Come on. Sometimes I wonder about people. Like, if someone throws a grenade at you, you get out of the way. You don't go right at it. But what can I say? The heat of battle, sometimes things just go your way and sometimes they don't. I've probably seen Child's Play 2. Yeah? Why do you ask? Boom. Max. There we go. I have maxed out my thing. I'm going to say no. I'm going to pop out. I'm an order queen. Yeah. I'll hear this hot jam. Yeah. Girl. Oh yeah. One time, two times. What's the fat cat got to say? I raise my level. Here's a C sound. And you can re-roll your gear or add slots to your gear with the sea snails. It's pretty cool. You know. Let's look at this dark alley where they sell drugs to kids. Or squid kids. I'm a kid now, I'm a squid now. Oh, look at this. We live in a society. I'm telling you. When people aren't drawing cool shit, they're saying dumb stuff. No. Most of us discover where we're heading as when we arrive. Ah, weird. Your deep thoughts with Jack Handy. I'll miss you, Splatfest. Good luck to all. Some hot jams in this game, I'll tell you that for free. No, I'm not equipping it. Buy some gear. Upgrade all my gear. It makes the grind a little more entertaining, I'll tell you that. No. Do. All right. Well, I've maxed out my level for the Splatfest event. So I think I'm going to leave you all with that. And with that, I will say good night, Avita Sen, adieu. And yeah, you'll probably see me around and streaming again tomorrow. Maybe Saturday night, who knows? But definitely not Saturday. And then we have Scribbattle tomorrow night. And yeah, I'm going to watch that as soon as I shut this down. I'm trying to think of what else is going on. I think that's it. But yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You know, like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. And yeah, have a good night, everybody. Take care. Listen to this hot jam, though. Oh. Oh, 3%'s an improvement, though. Oh. Everybody. 1 time, 2 times. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Hey.